And welcome back to some more Genshin Impact. On our last episode, we had attended Linny and Lynette's magical show at the Opera Epiclus, only for an incident of sorts to transpire not too long afterwards. Oh, and we also met the Chief Justice of Fontaine himself, Nervalette. So, with that wee tidbit in mind, let us continue henceforth and start looking for some clues inside this abode to, try to defend Linny and Lynette and Core. So, this is where the magic box was struck. If Call weren't inside the box at that moment, he might have dodged the falling water tank. Yeah, probably. So this button probably just detects things, right? Yeah. That was mentioned last time, yes? Anyway, Esmond.
Go ahead, have a look around. In the end, we're both after the truth.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall.
Yeah, it was singed by the pyrotechnics, no?
The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
You know, it's the fact that Paimon's still donning her goofy glasses and stash. Oh, it's throwing me for a loop. Anyway, so either Linny didn't realize this was a safety concern. No! The thing is, though, this isn't their first rodeo, right, when it comes to their whole shows and what have you, so I seriously doubt it, but... Or...
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
I'm just looking at where the rope snapped.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
Yeah, it's like... It's probably something that they attached to it to force it to become more flammable, right? Like a type of flash cutting.
Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait, why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes.
I mean, that's another thing. The perpetrator could have just swapped out the rope for one that's much more flammable. Special rope. This rope was used to suspend the water tank. It suddenly broke when the fireworks were being launched on stage. The investigation has shown that the location where the rope snapped was made of flammable material. Which is interesting. Oh, and there's little checkboxes, so if I do this again, it doesn't repeat. Yeah, the rope that suspended the water tank was definitely tampered with by someone. This was no accident. Hello, Quentin.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
Oh, so it was rigged?
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Oh wait, I could just look at this. Oh, that's neat. Anyway.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time.
So the girl was a target from the start.
I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
I mean, sure, but are they really going to keep track of everyone? Well, he is a bit of a perceptive lad. I still just don't think he has it in him. I mean, why would he sack one of his co-workers for it, right?
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Thanks. Sorry to bother you.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Random number selector. This device was used during Linny's magic performance to choose a lucky member of the audience. However, the guards have found that it will generate the exact same number no matter what. Clearly, someone has tampered with it. Man.
Linny's magic tricks were the stuff of legends, but the way he did this crime, he should have stuck to doing magic.
Look, doing magic tricks is one thing. Pulling off a crime is something else entirely. Maybe he was just too full of himself.
Alright, hello there, Morris. Or Maurice.
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troupe members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Could you tell us who she is?
Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself.
Okay, so she's someone with a bit of renown.
Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
Well, thanks for letting us know all this.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances. Information
About the missing lady's identity. Identity, not identity. It's not even a word. Anyway, Halsey is the missing person. She's a famous painter and came to watch the magic show in order to take a break from her own creative work. She isn't known to have been entangled in quarrels with any of the members of Linny's magic troupe. Yeah, so it makes it a bit of a hard case for it to be in relation to Linny. Okay, so nothing new on your side of things. Let's see what you have to say again, though.
If you do encounter Miss Halsey, please contact the guards immediately.
Fair enough. I guess we can't talk to this bunch, right? Yeah, they're just decorative. Decorative people. They're not real. Hello there, Isildur.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too. If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, all right?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
Oh?
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice, Lynette perhaps, jumping atop the water tank or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
But Like, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Yeah, especially given Lynette's petite frame. I don't know, doesn't feel like as if she would make that loud of a noise just, well, stamping on the aforementioned tank. Not without her vision, anyway.
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
Then wouldn't the water tank have started to swing a bit in that case?
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
Strange sound during the magic show. During the switching performance, there was an audible thump that many audience members heard. Yeah, that's a fair point. Let's just see if anybody else is up for a chat. Oh, examine magic box. It looks like an ordinary box, but Lenny somehow moved instantly from the stage to being inside of it. How did he do it? I'm guessing we can't talk to this bunch, right? No, but we could sit in any of the seats, at least. What? Oh! Yeah, it's just Lenny and Lynette and Maul. Okay.
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
Fair dos. And I'm guessing that this lot have nothing. Yeah, they don't have names.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Oh! I see a blondie in the distance.
Huh? You mean us?
Yeah, a fellow blondie.
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not even from Tavat.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
No. I haven't even heard of you, to be honest.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
Wait, a Geo character? I saw that mission for a brief. They remember that Geo exists? Here? In the 2023rd year of Genshin Impact? Dang, I mean, we went for the entirety of Sumeru, sorry. I just stumbled my words. Not even having a peep of that element. Now, if only they remembered that physical existed. I mean, there is this 4-star character that allegedly came out. Might have been related to Eula of the Reconnaissance crew, but doesn't really buff up damage except the Constellation 6. Why would they release a Constellation locked 4-star character to buff one specific aspect of the game? It's not like they didn't do that 2 times prior. And also, to be fair, in Mika's case, actually, the aforementioned silly beats that I mentioned, even at Constellation 6, I'm pretty sure they still get outclassed by Bennett, from what I recall. Which is just so unfortunate. It probably doesn't help that Mika of the aforementioned 3, though, just kind of doesn't deal damage. Like, guy doesn't do anything other than heal and buff.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
Hey, boss. But still, gorgeous design, though. I like the little star, or rather, the little stars in her eyes.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the 2nd generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
Ah, fair dos.
My apologies, demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
Gosh, the attendees' apparel is just so sharp and dapper, though.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
Hey, we were conscripted to be the captain of Swordfish, okay? We could be conscripted again, probably.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
So, you want to investigate as well?
That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time.
Also, dang, the first playable female of Fontaine, because she's obviously going to be playable, that has detached sleeves. Oh, wait, no, Charlotte. What am I talking about? Doi. I honestly forgot about Charlotte for a brief moment. So that's 2 then. Yeah, that's 2. I mean, hey, listen, it's still far less than what normally happens. I don't know, I just like Googling the designs at times, because until I have characterization to base it off of, well, the design's all I really have to go by, huh? Plus, again, these designs are obviously, like, always very intricate and detailed.
Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too! That's why we're looking for clues now!
Yeah.
But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Okay. Sure.
Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she?
I mean, yeah, but she also makes a show of things, so honestly it tracks, and again, she's probably a fairly incompetent Archon when you have civilians calling you mascot, okay? Like, there's probably a realm of reference there, sure, but oh boy, being called a mascot. I mean, like, what? Do you want to get reduced to Paimon status?
But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away.
Which is even funnier when you think about it, because it's like, she's supposed to be the top brass of this aforementioned nation, but it's like, nah! The rules and the systems apply to her too for some reason or another, but I guess in a realm of justice, there would be a sense of equality in a way, right? Because, like, well, the whole court thing is supposed to give both sides a fair chance outside of potential rigging and what have you, but, you know, details.
Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Yeah, she seems like an awfully stubborn lass.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
I mean, that's also a pretty fair point, Chief. I mean, most of the Archons aren't necessarily good rulers from what we've seen so far, or they've stepped down.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
I mean, that's also a fair point, yeah. Well, when you put it like that...
All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Also, I quite like Navia's eyeshadow, too. It's very fetching.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me.
Alright, make your inquiry then.
In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Oh. See, again, as I mentioned one time before, on a fictitious sense, dang, that's entertaining. On a morality sense, no. Because again, you're just making a show of something that should be taken with the utmost seriousness, right?
Well?
Yeah, not always. That's a pretty middle ground answer.
And why would that be?
Yeah, something serious like a trial should be treated like entertainment. I'm in full agreement of this.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Maloose. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Oh, so we got roped into it. Fair enough.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Now.
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
I think you're missing the point, Paimon.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth.
So when are you going to call Navia by her name?
You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lenny's tricks. Thanks!
Okie dokes. So, that was certainly something.
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very popular in Poisson.
I can see that. Maybe I should try to learn some magic. If I could make things disappear, cleaning my room would be a cinch.
Oh, so you're a bucky pup then, huh?
You need not worry about such things, demoiselle. That falls under my duties.
Oh, right.
Bit of a pampered princess, this one in a way, right? I do think her design is drop dead gorgeous, though. Well, Fontaine's still not messing with any other designs so far. So where'd you now? Hello? What about you?
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
Okay.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here, at least not from that point on.
So, what about during the show?
I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
So, the perpetrator could still be at large here then. Hey, I mean, you know, Silver was shifting his eyebrows a bit. Maybe he was being a bit nervous. Maybe he's the perpetrator now. Oh, that'd be jumping the gun quite a bit, though.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. Alright, thank you for your help. This'll be useful info.
Entrances and exits to the Opera House. No one left the Opera House during the magic show, and after the incident happened, only those who had their identities cleared by the guards could leave.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Anyway, hello there, Tristane, once again.
I My apologies, but access to the venue is restricted at this time. Please register first.
Fair. No, so it's just much of the same. Well, you never know. They're gonna be something a bit spicy. So can I talk to Silver?
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very.
I can see that.
No, it's just the same old, same old.
Maybe I should try to learn some magic.
Let me out.
You need not worry about.
Oh,
I mean, I figured it was just gonna be joined, but you know, it could have been a thing, right?
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower.
I mean, it helps you got a vision, huh?
Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Ah yes, time to inspect the props.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back of the door isn't the same.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Wait, does that mean there's another box inside this one?
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
And this passage linked the 2 boxes together. I mean, makes sense.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Then what about your side of the trick?
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Oh, so that's smart. Okay.
And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow, every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
I can tell a lot of thought was put into this.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
Is there perhaps a secret tunnel somewhere in this secret tunnel? Like an alternate passage?
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
The magic trick. Linny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using a box inside a box, the idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath, and Linny himself would be able to use this tunnel to get to the other side. Meanwhile, having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of the onstage interactions. Onstage magic box structure. The magic box on stage has an additional layer to its rear, in which Lynette, in Linny's clothes, remained hidden. She would appear at the end of the magic trick and lead people to believe that Linny had been able to instantly move to the box on the other side. The magic box at the center of the audience stands has 2 layers, and beneath it is an entrance to an underground tunnel. This was how the lucky audience member was meant to have been transported without the audience noticing. Oy vey. A ladder is required in order to return to the magic box above. No new evidence. Examine control board. This should be the control device for the trolley. It seems to be able to operate automatically.
Huh. What's this?
A grapple hook?
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Linny didn't mention this earlier.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Dropped hook rope. A rope that has fallen to the ground. A metal hook has been tied to one end of this rope. Its use is unclear. Well, I was just saying it was a grapple hook. I mean, hey, it could have been attached to that. Oh god. With how technologically advanced Fontaine is, that is. Oh, a broken vase, eh?
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Maybe it was for a trick? Okay, but why is the vase broken?
Oh, Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear? And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That would be quite the oversight, though.
That can't be. moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Or maybe it's a sign of a struggle.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Broken flower vase. There are many pieces of a broken flower vase on one side of the tunnel. All the water within has been spilled. Judging from the distance, it seems unlikely that it was knocked over by the trolley meant to support the magic box. Clothing? Wait, is this the women's clothing?
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Lenny didn't mention the guest having a wardrobe change.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
Did you change your glasses?
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
The young lady's clothes. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. Examine the tracks. High precision is required to complete this magic show, and tracks are perfect for making the trolley stay on its designated course. Oh? Storage boxes? All kinds of props and costumes are haphazardly stuffed inside. Not a person? Wait, a vent! Did they escape through the vent? Anyway, the trolley is crucial for transporting the magic box to the other side. The culprit must have used this to execute their plan. They went through the vent.
What is this place?
Looks like a vent.
It seems someone could fit through here.
I mean, given the size, yeah.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
Other than those that go through the magic boxes, and Winnie and Lynette were in the 2 magic boxes.
Oh, you're right! Let Paimon write that down.
Tunnel vent. The tunnel vent looks like it could allow one person passage, barely, but leaving along with the missing lady seems an unrealistic prospect.
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes, let's head back up.
Okay, so there's nothing there. Fair dose. Up we go.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnel's become like a secret chamber then! You know, like the kind you usually see in novels!
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
The Oratrice will too?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Fascinating.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neverlet called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
Fair dose.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Yeah, we might need some sustenance down here.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
Well, now's not the time to be picky.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon.
Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
Yeah, that is a question, isn't it? So, you fancying handing over the answer?
Understood, Demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
What, do you have ingredients on hand?
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the Demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
Talk about prepared.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group.
Must be a Spina de Rosula thing. Navia methodically handles the ingredients and pulls fresh macarons.
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling.
Wait, you all had food dye on you as well?
From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
That's not quite what Paimon meant, but okay. What are you talking about? It was paramount to the final product, obviously.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack.
Yeah. Oh boy, cracked sweets. I remember the first time I baked some cheesecakes. Oh, it didn't go the best. But at least they were still edible. They just didn't look the best. That was the main problem.
Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Oh, that's like the worst part about making sweets, though. It's just the presentation. Like with a cake, if it gets some cracks, some icing can help cover up. But some other ones, though, my heart sinks whenever I'm trying, like, some kind of new, like, treat that I want to figure out how to get down pat. And then it's just like, I think I'm doing well. And then you see the end product, and then there's cracks, and you're like, well, probably tastes fine. And it does, but dang, I wish it looked better. It's such a picky thing, I know, but it's one of the things that gets me very much into baking. It's just the presentation as well.
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Oh, you're even thinking about moderation.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Thank you, but why don't you take a break as well?
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
So, apart from the twins, we're left with 2 other people, the missing girl and the deceased.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
There's no evidence that this 3rd person even exists.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this 3rd person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
But she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off.
That would be quite the plot twist if it was somehow her, though.
Nor does she have any motive. The guards said that she has never had any dealings with the magic troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing, though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty, after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
Wait, what? Did the greedy guts eat more?
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
It's fine. If you ate 'em, you ate 'em.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach!
Oh, okay. Bit drastic.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal.
I can't believe we have to investigate the crime scene of the last 2 macarons, too.
Lelouch, set up the stove again, if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course?
Oh, there's really no need to do that.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
But of course.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
Yeah, just a second round. Oh, okay.
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right, thanks for your help and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malouse, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Probability of third person being involved. Neither Koa nor Halsey had a motive. But having talked to Navia, the likelihood of a third person being involved seems very low too. Okay!
It's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial.
Right,
it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Pylon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
As I was going to say though, this shall be our ending point for now. So, anyway folks, thank you all for watching this here episode of Genshin Impact, and I'll see you all next time as we continue our journey through Teyvat. Ta-ta for now!